What's up, guys? It's KaijuZilla621, and I'm doing my first theory video on Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I've seen all of them. I know all the Easter eggs and stuff, all about the Purple Man and Fredbear's family dino, stuff like that. So I know everything. I'm keeping touch with all the new stuff that's coming out. Can't wait for the third game. So I want to cover up something that no one else has covered up yet, and I think I want to cover up the timelines of the restaurants of Five Nights at Freddy's. So let's start. Okay, so I think that the third game will take place in the restaurant before the second game and after the Fredbear Family Dino, or it could be Fredbear Family Dino. I don't know. But here's a timeline of what I possibly think is for the restaurant. So first off, this is a theory. Okay, so all of this is probably wrong. I don't know, but this is my theory. Okay, so I got some of this info from Game Theorist. He makes an awesome video of Five Nights at Freddy's explaining everything. So watch that. Okay, so I think the first one is probably most likely Fredbear Family Diner, which people say Bonnie, Chica, and Boxy weren't there, and possibly just Golden Freddy, because people say he was probably the original mascot. Then Fazbear Entertainment came along and bought it and changed the name to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Okay, so we can possibly think that Fredbear Family Diner was opened around the 70s. Maybe around 1977, because that's when Chuck E. Cheese opened as a pizza time theater. So in Fredbear's Family Diner, we think the first killing, which was a purple man, killed the kid outside the place when one of the mini games in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, when Freddy was giving cake, and then the purple man, killed the kid and moved its soul to the marionette. So the place most likely shut down and made a new restaurant called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which was the first one of its name. And we think that we most likely think that the 5 killings happened in that first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza restaurant. And that time there was probably Chica and Bonnie and Foxy that came along, and Golden Freddy. They probably kept Golden Freddy just to keep him safe, because I don't know, the first game, the original game, had a Golden Freddy. Maybe just trying to keep the original mascot safe. I don't know why, but then we know the 5 kids were stuffed in the suits. And so since it's before the reopening, the phone guy says in night 1 of the second game that the other restaurant closed a few years ago. So we can most likely think the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was possibly like 3 or 4 years before the second game, which is 1987. So we're looking at a possibility that the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was opened around 1984 or something like that. Now, I'm not sure of the exact year. Maybe the paycheck of the next game will say, but it's certainly in the 80s, because I don't think a few years means like 10 years or something like that. But okay, so now then we know after the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was the reopening, which is the second game in 1987, which the bite happened. And then after was the first game, and which now might be confirmed to take place in 1993, because in game theories they compared it with the minimum wage of that time. So yeah. So these are my theories of what the times of the places were. Just saying it in a quick sentence, just so you can see the timeline. Okay, so Fredbear's Family Diner possibly in 1977 or 78 if we compare it to Chuck E. Cheese. Then the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which possibly was opened in the 80s, possibly I think 1984. Then came the reopening in 1987, which the second game is taking place in. Then the first game is the most current one in 1993. So that's my theory on the times of the restaurants, and I also want to share a cool idea I had that Scott should do. I told one of my friends, and they enjoyed it. I think the third game should take place in the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, then the fourth game possibly in Fredbear's Family Diner, then the fifth game in the present, possibly 2017. But that's what I want. I just want to share this cool idea I had. But yeah, so that's my theory on the times of the restaurants. I know it wasn't that long of a video, but this is basically everything's covered, but really nothing of the theories like have been answered. Some of them were in the second game, but we're not sure about the third game. So I some and I'll like to make more theory videos if find something new that I could make a video about. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is Kaijuzilla621 signing out.